Alright, in this video we're going to discuss section 2 of the small vessel sea service form, and this is where you document the days that you have on that vessel. Remember, one form per vessel, so one form equals one vessel. If you have multiple vessels, you need multiple forms. So if you have two vessels, you'll need two forms, and so on. So here we are. Now remember, I'm using my personal experience and I'm in Michigan, right? So we don't go out in January, February, March. We kind of start in April. And I'm going to say that this boat was from 2010, so year 2010, 2011, and 2012, right? These are all hypothetical, so I'll use that for each one. 2010, 2011, 2012, and that will be consistent for all of these, right? When you really fill the form out, I'm just doing this to save a little bit of time because I only get 10 minutes to record and you don't want to watch me fill out this form for 25 minutes. So all of these are the same: 2010, 2011, and 2012. And so in April, I know I didn't go out much, right? Maybe I went out April 2010, the very end of April, I went out twice, right? And I did that every year, twice. Well, in May, I went out more like 6 times in May each year, 6, right, on this particular vessel. And in June, from 2010 through 2012, in June, I went on my boat every other day. So if I went on it every other day, let's take a look at this. I went on my boat every other day in June. So that's 15 days, right? If there's 30 days in June and I was on it, and divided by 2, right? I was on it every other day. That's 15 days. 15 days in June. And I did this each year. 15 days in June. And now July. Okay, and again, this is 10 through 12. And in July, I was on my boat. Let's say I was on it once a week. I was only on my boat once a week in July for all these years. So I was on it 4 times in July, each one of these years. And I'm keeping it consistent. So in August, I didn't really go boating that much. I have a job that starts in August, so I was on it 2 days in August every year. And then September, I put the boat away, so I wasn't on it in September, October, boats put away, November, boats put away over here. You know, and it goes back. We don't boat in January, right, from 10 to 2012. We don't boat in January in Michigan. Maybe ice boat, but that's about it. So all these days are 0. Now we have our summers on this boat. We need to add all of these up. So this, and then we add them all up and we'll put them down here. So how do we do this? We just go month by month. So let's look it over here. I'm going to change colors so it's more interesting. So April. So we have how many days in April, May, June, July, August, right? Those are the months we have days. So we're going to put them out here. We'll add them up, and then we'll put them in the appropriate boxes and fill this form out. So April, we are there 2, 4, 6 days in April, 6, and May, 6, 12, 18 days in May. And June, we're at, look at that, 30, 45 days in June. We were just boating every other day in June. In July, we had 4 times 3, 12. And in August, 2, 4, 6, we kind of wound down again. we had 6 days in August. So if we add these up, why not? We'll use a calculator so we don't make any mistakes here. So clear this, and we have 6 plus 18 plus 45 plus 12 plus 6 equals. Okay, so on this vessel we have 87 days. Right? Maybe we have another boat, or we had a job on another vessel where we got more days than this. So in these 3 years we got 87 days on this boat. Maybe we sold it. So total number of days, now we're coming down here. Alright, we're going to fill out these boxes here. The total number of days served on this vessel was 87 days. Average hours underway per day. This is interesting. You must put at least four these days to qualify. 1 day on the water. Let me draw that in here. This is kind of an important fact here. 1 day is equal to at least 4 hours underway. What does underway mean? Well, I'm going to write it down here. It means not at anchor. And it means not at anchor, aground, or made fast to the shore. Right? So basically what they're saying, you have to be out on the water underway. You can be drifting around, but you have to have at least 4 hours underway. Average distance offshore. I'm going to switch back to yellow and do average distance offshore. Let's say I was 5 miles offshore. In Grand Traverse Bay, we're usually more like 3 miles offshore. But this is all demonstration's sake. 5 miles offshore. Number of days served on the Great Lakes. All of this was on West Grand Traverse Bay in this situation. So number of days served on the Great Lakes was all of them, right? Number of days served on waters shoreward of the boundary line. What does that mean? What's the boundary line? Here it is. Here is the boundary line. Let me get back in a color that represents the same color as the boundary line. Do you see this magenta line? This here, it says Correg demarcation line. Right here. This is the boundary line. This dotted line. This is the Block Island chart right in the race. You see here, the race. And what it does is connect 2 points of land. You see this point of land coming out here? And this is Little Gull Island. This is kind of over here. There's another point of land. And what happens is this Correg demarcation line usually connects to 2 points of land, and it divides the high seas seaward of the line from harbors, rivers, and bays shoreward of the line. So we come back up here a tad, switch back to yellow, stay consistent here. Number of days served on waters shoreward of the boundary line. So if all of our days were on the Great Lakes, they were all shoreward of the boundary line. 87 of my days were shoreward of the boundary line. Number of days served on waters seaward of the boundary line, 0. Now, if I had served all my days seaward of this, then my time would be outside the boundary line and the numbers would go here. Good, that's a general overview of section 2 of the small vessel sea service form. And it should give you a pretty good understanding of what they're looking for. They're taking you on your word that you're being honest about your time.